Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the best value holiday 2020 gaming PCs. But before we get into the video guys, please leave a like if you guys find it helpful and enjoy the video. It's really helpful to me to help with those algorithms and all other stuff, as well as leaving a comment. Also really helps me with all that algorithm stuff. As well, I don't make any money off of these videos. I make these just purely to help other people, to help with their buying decisions. So the best thing that you guys can do is hit that subscribe button. Again, I don't make any money off of putting these links down in the description. They aren't affiliate links, and we're just really trying to grow the channel right now. So hitting that subscribe button really helps me out with trying to just grow what we're doing here. As well, before we get into the video guys, I do want to state that all of the companies that we're going to be taking a look at today are reputable. They're not going to be some kind of starter up company. All of these companies are companies that I would feel comfortable recommending to anyone who is going to be new to gaming PCs and don't feel like building their own, because again, building your own is always going to be the best option in terms of value. But today we're going to be taking a look at the best value gaming PCs for holiday 2020 from the $600 to the $1,000 price range. As well, I would like to mention, if the $600 price range is still too steep for you, I would recommend getting a next generation console. You can get a Xbox Series S, I think, for pretty cheap. I think it's like close to $300. So if you're just looking for a machine to game on, that's also a very good idea to go with. As well, if you're just looking for really high performance in games like that and you're just looking to spend around $500, I would definitely recommend either the PS5 or the Xbox Series X. I do have a video assessing the value of those game PCs, so if you guys want to go check out that one, if you're not really interested in getting anything around the $600 to the $1,000 price range, you can definitely go check out that, and hopefully that kind of helps out with your decision. Now, with all that out of the way, let's actually get into our first gaming PC. So VRLA Tech is one of the companies that I always recommend to a lot of people in my Discord. The one PC that I always recommend to people who have a fairly low budget and want to get into 1080p gaming at high frame rates, I would always recommend them the VRLA Tech Rouge. So this gaming PC is going to be a great gaming PC for anyone who's just starting out. You're gonna be able to play all of your 1080p games like Fortnite, all of those high fidelity games at 60 plus FPS. Fortnite probably around 120 to 144 hertz, depending on your settings, maybe even higher if you end up overclocking the stuff yourself. But a couple of things at this price point: you're not going to be getting the RGB fans. This RGB strip right here you are going to get. I mean, it's just kind of built into the case, but these RGB fans you are not going to be getting. You're just going to be getting some standard black fans. So if you do want those RGB fans and that's something that you're really interested in, you're going to have to go through the drop down box and get some of those. As well, one upgrade that I would really recommend is getting a SSD upgrade to at least a 120 or a 256 gigabyte hard drive. Mostly because this is going to make the system feel a lot faster, since the base storage configuration only has a 1 terabyte hard drive. Now everything else looks great. I'd probably get the AMD variant. The Intel variant isn't really that great. The AMD one's going to give you better performance and more upgradability with this motherboard. You're going to have 16 gigs of RAM, which is definitely enough to do all of your multitasking. So the next gaming PC we're taking a look at is the Skytech Cronos Mini. It is going for $650. It is an amazing value gaming PC for the price point, but the one downside is it just isn't in stock right now. And if you can get it on the Skytech website or on Amazon, those are going to be the best places to be able to buy this gaming PC. It's just something that I would highly recommend to anyone who's just trying to get into it. It's got similar performance in terms of graphics. I think it's actually a little bit better on this one, and the CPU is also better on this compared to the Rouge. The only area where it's somewhat lacking is going to be in the RAM size, but for a lot of people, you can upgrade it yourself later down the line if it becomes a huge bottleneck for all of the games that you're on. As well, you get a 500 gigabyte SSD, and again, the same motherboard that you get on this one. Power supplies right now are kind of a shot in the dark on this low price range. This one is an 80 plus watt certified, and this one is a 550 watt bronze. This one actually is a better power supply in terms of just overall efficiency and upgradability, which is why I really do recommend this one over the other one if you can get it in stock. So now we're going back to VRLA Tech with their Aurora gaming PC. This one is $50 more than this previous one. It's going for $700, and we've got the same processor combo, the same motherboard combo. Now I do have a better GPU than this one, but it's actually the same exact GPU that's in here. So in terms of gaming performance, these two are going to be fairly similar. Now, the cool thing with this is that you've got a bunch of different color selection. So basically all you can do is pick the color of your case. So you get the choice between pink, mint green, white, and black. The only reason why I really put this one on here is just because if this one is not in stock, this is kind of the other one that I would point people towards, because this one is probably going to be a lot more readily available to other people compared to these Skytech ones that usually get sold out fairly fast. Now, the other one we're taking a look at is going to be the Skytech Gaming PC. Now, this one is actually $600, so it is a very, very good value gaming PC, but just depending on what time of year you can get this and how soon you can get it, the price is definitely going to jump back up to the $700 price range. Now, really, no matter what price range you buy it at, it's still a good deal. It's an amazing deal right now, but if you still get it for $700, it's still not a bad system. I have had this case before. It's a fairly okay case. It's actually got like a blue LED strip in this little glass panel right here. If they do end up connecting that connector, they can just kind of not opt to connect it if they don't want to add it in, because the blue kind of does clash with this red theme, but it is there on these cases as well. It's got a tempered glass side panel. It's a fairly nice case. Now, the CPU is a pretty beastly one. It's an AMD Ryzen 5 2600, and then we've only got 8 gigs of DDR4 memory. Again, might want to upgrade this a little bit, and though I'm talking about upgrading RAM is probably the easiest thing for you to upgrade on your gaming PC. There's hundreds of videos out there talking about how to upgrade RAM, so if you guys are looking to do that, I probably would just go search up a video. Now, for our graphics, you got a GTX 1650. It's around the same performance as all of the past ones that we've been looking at. Really, the only reason why this one is up here is just because the CPU is just so nice. And then we've got a 500 watt 80 plus certified power supply and all this other stuff. Now, something I would like to mention is that opposed to these VRLA tech PCs, all of these Skytech PCs do come with wireless networking. So if you are planning on playing with Wi-Fi, these ones do come with it on the default, whereas these ones you're going to have to pay extra for it. All right, so let's move on to our $800 price range. Now, this one is a base $900, but for more times than not, I've seen it listed for $800. And this is going to be the Archangel 3.0 from Skytech. It's got an AMD Ryzen 5 2600. Again, an amazing CPU. It's actually a bit better than what we have on here. We've got a pretty nice case with all of these fans. We've got a better motherboard. You got 16 gigs of RAM, definitely what I would like to see on a PC like this, as well as a much better GPU. A GTX 1660 is a good bit better than a GTX 1650. You got the same hard drive capacity. 500 gigs is a good amount for most people. And then we get the same power supply and all of the other same stuff. Now, next we've got the VRLA Tech Legacy. This has got an AMD Ryzen 5 2600 with an AMD Radeon RX 5500 XT. Now, just in terms of head-to-head comparison, this one is worse. It's basically got the same specs except with a 120 gigabyte SSD with a 1 terabyte hard drive. So you get a little bit more total storage capacity, but in terms of how fast all that storage capacity is, because only 120 gigs of it is a SSD, it's just going to be overall slower than what we're going to be having on here. But again, everything is going to be marginally worse. You're just going to have a marginally worse processor, you're gonna have a marginally worse GPU. But again, the main reason why I threw this in here is that if this thing ever does shoot up to $900, this is a really good $800 gaming PC. As well as with all things VRLA tech, you do have to pay extra for the RGB fans and if you want wireless networking. Now, this gaming PC I found basically just searching up Newegg stuff. Now, this gaming PC, I would get it as soon as you possibly can when you see this video. Because I don't think that its price is going to stay at this. This is a super good gaming PC for the specs that they're giving you. They are a little bit low in terms of RAM, but every other processor on this thing is amazing as well. You get a pretty nice mouse and keyboard. You got an Intel Core i5 10400F. It's a pretty good processor. It's got 6 cores, 12 threads, and some pretty high clock speeds, as well as a 1 terabyte hard drive and a 512 gigabyte SSD. As well, we've got a really good GPU, a GTX 1660 Super. Gonna be able to play all your games at really high frame rates. If you're looking to play Fortnite, you're probably hitting around the 200 to 240 FPS benchmark. Again, depending on what your settings are going to be. So if you're able to get this thing for around $800 or $850, I definitely would pull the trigger as soon as you can, because this is just one of the best ones that I have seen. All right, so let's move on to around the $1,000 price point. So this one's going to be off Amazon. This is going to be the Cyberpower PC Gamer Master. It's going to be going for $930. The CPU is an amazing CPU. It's an AMD Ryzen 5 3600. I recommend this to most of my buddies or people in my Discord who are looking to get a gaming PC for the first time and really don't know what CPU to go with. This CPU is basically going to be able to run all of your games at high frame rates, and it's going to be able to do all of the multitasking that you want. As well, the GPU is pretty beefy. You've got an RTX 2060 6GB card. This card in general is going to be able to play all of your games at 1080p, really high frame rates. As well, you're going to have that ray tracing capability that all of these RTX GPUs have. So if you're looking to play like Minecraft RTX or something like that with these next generation games, then this is a really good gaming PC for that. Now, the really big downside with this PC is you only have 8 gigs of RAM. I don't think it would be a recommendation, but almost a must with this PC just to buy an extra stick of 8 gigs with this gaming PC and throw it in, just because it really kind of needs it if you're playing games that are going to be utilizing the full power of the RTX 2060, and the SSD is kind of lackluster as well. Now, you do have a 1TB hard drive to just kind of store all of those other games, and then you have Wi-Fi built in and all of that other stuff. It's a good computer for just the processing components, so the CPU and the GPU are really nice, but the other kind of stuff is a little bit lackluster, but that's kind of what you get at these really good value price points. So for our last gaming PC at the price point that we have it at, it's going to be $950, and we're going to be having the ABS Master Gaming PC. This one I would really recommend for anyone who's looking for high 1080p 1440p gaming. I've got a Intel Core i5-10400F. Again, we had this on one of our older gaming PCs that we just talked about. Still a great processor, and we've got a GeForce RTX 2060. It was on the last one as well. Now we actually have 16 gigs of DDR4, which is really nice to see. Again, you're going to be needing that kind of RAM capacity in order to be playing the games that you probably are going to be playing. You're also going to have a 512GB SSD, which is really nice. And if you end up needing more storage, you can just plug in an external hard drive. I think this PC actually looks pretty good for all of the RGB stuff with it. You get a pretty decent keyboard and mouse. Power supply is fine. It's by a company called GameDS, and it's 80+ certified. It's pretty much going to be able to let the system run and do whatever it wants, and probably has some room to upgrade if you want to throw in a better CPU or GPU later on. So that's going to be it for all of the gaming PCs that I had today. It's going to be kind of covering more of the budget price range, again from that $600 to $1,000 price range. But if you guys want to see more gaming PCs at a higher end price point, maybe from $1,000 to $2,000, I can definitely put that together for you guys. Just, spam me in the comment section below, tell me to make the video. And hit that thumbs up button. Those things are really good indicators to me if you guys want to see another video. But yeah, guys, thank you for taking a look at the video. Hopefully this helped a lot of you guys out and helps you guys save some money on your next gaming PC. As well, if you guys want to share the love, please feel free to share the video with a friend and hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. And if you guys have any tech questions or just have some more questions about buying one of these gaming PCs, you guys can come and join the Discord that is linked down in the description below. Me and other people from the Discord will be more than happy to answer a lot of your guys' questions. So again, thanks for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next one.